So I want to start with a question, right? And I want you to answer it very, very, very honestly. Not out loud, but just in your head. So my question is, how many times did you say yes this week? And now I'm asking this question because I know that there are times where you said yes when your brain was actually screaming no, when everything inside you was saying no, but you still actually said yes. So we're talking about did that did not happen once, did not happen twice. Those type of yeses that comes out automatically. The one that, like I said, before your head, before your brain even processes it, your mouth already says it automatically. So, and you know this kind of yeses, after you've said it, when you wanted to put yourself first, you go back to your self alone, you start regretting, and you're like, why do you keep doing this to yourself? So, I want you to know that I understand you, and now I want to play a story. I want to tell a story. I want you to listen to me very, very, very attentively. So, this story is about a girl. It's a very fictional story, but trust me, you will be able to relate to it. She's not real, but we're going to play a scenario where she about what she has experienced, right? And this particular girl, will call her Adaeze, and she might even be somebody you've known, might be someone you've met in school, in the office, at home, anywhere literally. So just want to listen to me very, very attentively, like I said. So my story is about, like, this story now is about Adaeze, and just talking about how she has never been taught that her own needs are valid too. So now let's go into it. Alright, so it says Adaeze was the one everyone called first. The colleague who stayed late to help. The daughter who never complained, and she had mastered the art of saying yes with a smile and crying in the shower. So I want us to take it a line after the other, guess. The part of being everyone's person and the part of being the first person people were able to run to always sound like a compliment. Because it's normal for everybody to feel like, oh, she's so nice, she's my person, and you feel okay if we are blushing too much in your head. I get it. But now, most times, the thing that we don't really talk about is where you become so available to everyone that you now become unavailable to yourself. Yes, and because you get to that point because you are always solving everybody's problems. You are there for everybody. You are there for everybody's emergencies. And now it now get to that point where you ask yourself, who do I call? Who shows up for me the way I show up for others? And who is my person? And now for a lot of people pleasers like Adaeze, when you get to ask yourself that question and you are being honest to yourself, most times the answer is always silence, because you just have that thing in your heart that you don't really have a definite answer to the question. Yes, so that's where it now starts sitting with you that something is wrong somewhere. Now let's continue with the story. One Thursday, her boss asked her to cover the weekend shift. Her brain said absolutely not, and her mouth said of course no problem. So let's talk about this, because if you're a people pleaser, I know that you will know this feeling. This feeling where Your brain is fully aware of what is happening in the moment. Your brain knows exactly what it wants. And your mouth says what you don't want. Now, because you know that your brain is composed, it's rational and it's logical. But now, your brain knows that you have weekend plans. Your brain knows that you are tired. Your brain knows, and your brain is even ready to say no, thank you. But your mouth is always betraying you. So now, there is no problem in this. You are not stupid. It's not even as if something is wrong somewhere. It's just that you are going to ask yourself, okay, where did it come from? Because nobody asked your mouth to actually go rogue and betray you. Nobody asked your mouth to sign you up for a shift that you didn't even plan for. And now your yes is already out and you cannot take it back. And you're just nodding, smiling, and your brain is there having a full mental breakdown. And you are beating yourself up again, and you're asking yourself, why do I keep doing this to myself? So let's continue the story. She drove home, realizing the conversation she had never had, and she's like, why can't I always say no? So now let's talk about this part. Let me give an example. Okay, the car, that place where you are alone by yourself, is always the people pleasers therapy room. I don't know if you get it, because outside everybody sees you, but you have to form a very, very amazing smile for everyone to know that, oh, you are in a good state. Trust me, when you now get by yourself alone, maybe in the shower, in your room alone, or anywhere, even at night before you sleep, you start bringing back everything that happened. You beat yourself up again and again and again, and there is a full breakdown in your head. That place where nobody's watching you and nobody's seeing anything, and it is just you and any unknown living thing around you. So you replay everything that happened in your head again, like I said, with full confidence. Like, you know what happens in that alone, in our therapy room, which is our alone state, we are very articulate. That time we are calm, we set the boundary, we say the exact thing at the right time, we replay what should have happened that did not happen. You project your weekend, you walk away with your dignity fully intact, and you're like, no, I cannot work this shift. I have my plans, this. And then you rehearse everything in your head that should have happened, and you still go back and do the thing that your mouth has already betrayed you for. Till you get it. So now the thing here is, it will lead to frustration, because the car version of you, because we gave an example of when you're in the car, when you're alone, the alone version of you and the real version of you that said yes are two different people. And the gap between those people is where, like I said, is where frustration comes in. It's where exhaustion comes in, and it's where resentment builds. So now, and this is the point where you quietly start losing yourself, and it's a slow process. It's a slow process, like I said, like it's a very, very slow process. You just get to know that, because as you are realizing it again and again and again, you are losing yourself. So let's continue the story. At some point, a version of her she had been slowly starving quietly gave up and sat down. Let's read that line again. Slowly starving. I just want to pick that part because this is what people pleasing does. Trust me, it's not dramatic. It's not, like I said, it's a slow process. Nobody even sees it. There is no big moment where you say, this is when I just got tired. You'll get tired as time goes on. Always being there for everybody, you get tired. And there's no moment where you say, where people pleasers can say, this is where it all happened. I said, I'm not going to say yes again. So it all happens in the small yeses, in every phone call you answered when you were already overwhelmed, and in every plan you change to accommodate someone else instead of yourself. And every time you had to shrink yourself so that somebody else could be comfortable. Slowly starving, like I said. And now, when we're talking about slowly starving, let's talk about what gets starved. There are many, because we have to understand that there are many parts to us. There are many parts that makes us. Let me put it. There are many parts that makes you. Your voice makes you. Your preferences makes you. Your instincts makes you. The sense of what you want makes you. So once you starve all this, which are your voice, your preferences, your instinct, and the sense of what you want, you lose yourself. And because you've spent so long tuning into everyone else's frequency, you've completely lost your own signal. You will get starved. You would. And it will get to that point where you don't even know what you want anymore. And because everyone calls you their person, you would feel like you're doing the right thing. And you will start feeling like you are not meant to want things that you should want. You feel like once you put yourself first, it's a bad thing. Once you now start having this mentality of, I must give up myself to help others. I must give up my own desires. All those quotes. Let's continue the story. Nobody forced her. Let me say that again, because I think it is very, very important. Nobody forces people pleasers. Nobody will take on to your head. Nobody threatens us. Nobody tells us very loudly and tells us that our needs do not matter. And they don't even tell us that our need matters. Just let us be. And now, the same people that we all break our head for as people pleasers, they don't even tell us that our needs matters, right? They never open their mouth to tell us. And now I feel like this is what people get so wrong about people pleasers, because most times they just say, why can't we just, they just look at us and they're like, why can't we just say yes? Why can't we just say no? Sorry, let's cut that part. Why can't we just say no? And they're like, just say no. It's just 2 letter words. No. It's just 2 letter words here. N-O, no. They're like, just say it. But then, now I'm getting into a very deep part, because I feel like this is what people don't see. And here is the thing, for a lot of people, saying the word no was never modeled. When I mean modeled, they grew up in a home where keeping the peace was very, very important and was the most important thing. They grew up in an environment where You just have to do everything to make sure that everywhere is calm. Even when things are not going your way, even when you don't like what is happening, you just have to maintain peace. And another instance can be maybe when the person expressed a need, it was dismissed, it was ignored. And maybe the adult around them, talking about the background problem now, maybe the adult around you showed you through an example that love is something you earn. And they showed you that love is something you earn through your helpfulness, through your agreeableness, through your willingness to be convenient. So you learn to be convenient, you learn to be agreeable, you learn to smile and say yes and make it look so effortless that nobody even knows that you are losing yourself, you are starving. And you got so good at it that even you forgot that it was costing you something. It was costing you yourself. So I want you to know that love is something you earn. Love is not something you earn. Let's grab that part. Love is not something you earn through your willingness to be convenient. So that's the end of the story, right? And if this is you, if you recognized yourself somewhere in Adaeze's story, I want you to hear this very, very clearly. You don't have a personality flaw. You are not weak. It's not even because you are stupid or naive or too soft for this world. No. Like I've said, like I've explained the background problem. It's just because somewhere along the way, somebody or something taught you that your needs were less important than everyone else's comfort. They made you feel like you should always sacrifice yourself for others. They made you feel like you should always be the sacrificial lamb in that sense. And let me make it clear to you, you are not Jesus. You are not the one that would lay your life for everybody. And in that part where you learned that your needs were less important than everyone else's comfort, you believed it. Because maybe, let's say, you were young, you were trusting, you were even trying to survive an environment that did not make space for you. But I want you to just know that you are not in that environment anymore. And that lesson, the exhausting lesson that you learned, that you should always sacrifice yourself for others, it does not have to follow you forever. It does not. Now, I'm not going to sit here and start telling you the solution is to start saying no to everybody aggressively and suddenly become a different person overnight. No, I'm not going to do that. This is not how it works. It does not work that way at all. Because remember, your mouth betrays you. But one thing I will tell you is this: the first step is not even about saying no to other people. The first step is saying yes to yourself. Like I said, let me say it again. The first step is not saying no to other people. The first step is saying yes to yourself. What do I mean? I mean, you should start noticing yourself, start paying attention to yourself. This is a process you have to go through intentionally. Very, very intentional, because I want you to start noticing the moment your body contracts when somebody makes a request. When someone makes a request the next time, notice the tightness in your chest. Notice the uncomfortability in your body. Notice the voice in your head that already knows the answer before your mouth opens. Pay attention to that voice, because that voice is you. That's the version of you that God buried before under everyone else's need. And now we are stepping into what is actually like ours. And that voice deserves to be heard first. Let me say it here. Before you answer anyone else, hear that voice first. Hear that voice in your head first. And now, you don't have to say no immediately after you've heard the voice. And you don't even have to be dramatic about it. You can now simply say, let me get back to you on that. After you've processed it, after you feel the uncomfortability. That's it. Let me get back to you. Just 5 words. Now, why did I say you should do this? Because I want you to know that it's a process, right? And once you feel the uncomfortability in your body, you feel the tightness in your chest, you don't know what to do. So the best response is, you are not trained yet to start saying no like that. So the best response is actually, let me get back to you. So now, those 5 words gives you, that's let me get back to you, right? It gives you the power to make a real choice instead of a fear-based reflex. Now, when I say reflex is something you do without even planning it, right? That's when your mouth betrays you automatically. It's an automatic something. So those 5 words gives you the power to make a choice, to think about it, to brood on it, and say, oh, do I want to do this? Do I don't want to? Do I not want to do this? You get. So after doing that, I want you to now hear the deeper truth of this. The people who truly love you, I mean, the ones that are worth keeping, because when you start this, after you've gotten back to them, your answer will be no, yes, or can you give me more days? I may not be available this time, but I'll be available that time. Your answer will start getting very different from what people have known you for before. But now, after your answer start getting very different from yes, and it's not always yes all the time, I want you to know that the people who truly love you, like the ones that are worth keeping, they would not leave because you said no. They would not love you less because you have limits. And real love does not require you to disappear, yes. Let me tell you what real love will do for you. Real love will make room for you to exist fully. When I mean existing fully, it means existing with your boundaries. It means existing with your preferences. It means existing with your bad days and your needs. That's existing fully. So if someone in your life right now only shows up for the version of you that says yes to everything, my love, that's not love. That's not love. And I want you to know that you deserve very, very much better. Now, we are paying attention. We are doing it with intentionality to do the best for ourselves, because before we were not doing the best for ourselves. So, if someone shows up for you for the version of it that says yes to everything, it's not love. It's just convenience. And I want you to know that you deserve far more than being someone's convenience. Let's say that again. You deserve far more than being someone's convenience. And now, if you're in the same place Adaeze is in this story, and how she's still learning, so are you learning. I want you to know that it's okay. Learning takes time. I mean, it's a process, like I said, and growth is not an easy journey. So, but the fact that you are here watching this, thinking about it, it means something. It's an important part of your growth. And that means that the version of you that got buried under everybody's needs is still fighting to be heard. Now we are going to go into the lessons from everything we've talked about, just the main points to take along with you, and always remember again. So let's end this video with 6 things I need you to write down, screenshot, or just let it sit in your chest for a moment. 6 lessons from Adaeze's story, 6 things that nobody told her, and maybe nobody told you either. Okay, the first lesson. Saying yes when you mean no is not kindness. It is a slow, quiet form of self-betrayal. And you've been doing it long enough. I would say it again. Saying yes when you mean no is not kindness. It is a slow, quiet form of self-betrayal. And you have been doing it long enough. Listen to. People do not respect what you never protect. Your time, your energy, your peace. If you treat them like they don't matter, the world will agree with you. I would say it again. People do not respect what you never protect. Your time, your energy, and your peace. If you treat them like they don't matter, the world will agree with you. Lesson 3. The people who truly love you will survive your no. And the ones who don't, that information is useful. I would say it again. The people who truly love you will survive your no. And the ones who don't, you know what to do with that information. Lesson 4. You cannot pour from a cup you've been emptying since childhood. Rest is not laziness. Refusal is not selfishness. They are survival. Let's take it again. You cannot pour from a cup you have been emptying since childhood. Rest is not laziness. Refusal is not selfishness. They are survival. Lesson 5. Real love does not require you to disappear. If someone only loves the version of you that says yes to everything, they do not love you. They love your compliance. I'll take it again. Real love does not require you to disappear. If someone only loves the version of you that says yes to everything, they do not love you. They love your compliance. Lesson 6. No is a full sentence. It does not need an explanation, an apology, or a long story. No, that is enough. You are enough. I would say it again. No is not a full sentence. It does not need your apology. It does not need your explanation. It does not need a long story. N-O. That is enough. You are enough. So that's the end of the lessons. If any part of the story felt familiar, I want you to save this video, not for now, maybe for later, because you are going to need to come back to it on the days when it feels like it is easy to say yes than choosing yourself. And if you know someone who is living in their own version of Adaeze's story, I want you to send a video to them, because sometimes the thing a person needs to hear most is the thing they've been afraid to say to themselves. So help someone today. Share this video with them, and I want you to make sure that you intentionally pay attention to yourself, and do the best for you, because you deserve the best. Yes. And see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.